Welcome back, everyone, to Security Weekly's live Black Hat 2021 coverage, coming to you from G Unit Studios in Rhode Island, where I think we just passed our fire inspection, which is that's important. I'm, of course, your host, Paul Asadorian. Joining me for this micro interview is Carolin Solskär, the community manager for Detectify Crowdsourced. Carolin, welcome.
Thank you.
Our topic for today, Carolin, is automating hacker knowledge, but I want to learn a little bit about Detectify's kind of crowdsourced. Is it a bug bounty program? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, good question. It's kind of a bug bounty program, you could say. So shortly, just Detectify, we have a scanner that scan our customers' web pages for vulnerabilities. And in order for us to keep that scanner up to date, we need to all the time add more vulnerabilities. And that is why we use ethical hackers. So we have a community that is called Detectify Crowdsourced, where we have, soon 400 handpicked ethical hackers that can submit vulnerabilities to us. And then we take those vulnerabilities and we build them into our scanner. And then when the scanner gets hits on those vulnerabilities, the hacker gets paid. So yes, it is a bug bounty program, but we work a little bit differently, where we instead focus on commonly used technologies that affects a lot of customers instead of just hacking one customer at a time.
So how specific is the vulnerability? Let's say I'm a vulnerability researcher, and do I submit a vulnerability in a very specific product, or can it be kind of a more generic vulnerability that crosses multiple products?
So it's specific technologies, as for example WordPress, and then it's a vulnerability in one version of WordPress. So all our hackers has access to this information, so they can see what technologies will usually generate a lot of hits based on that. A lot of our customers are using those technologies and those specific versions of those technologies. But you can also send in other stuff as well. But the more common use it is, the more hits it will get. So the more money you will get.
I see. So it behooves me to find a vulnerability in a common product, such as a WordPress or popular WordPress plugin, because more customers are going to be using that.
Yeah, exactly. And we also have like a list of stuff that we mostly accept. And then, of course, we don't accept anything. It has to be something that our customers actually are using. And so, but yeah,
now,
the more the better.
Does it have to be a previously, like, what if the vulnerability has been previously disclosed? Like, how do you check it? Does it have to be a 0 day, basically?
No, it hasn't have to be a 0 day. We also accept CVs. So all that we need is that it's something that we haven't checked for before.
Okay.
So you can submit proof of concepts even for things that already exist.
And now, do I have to kind of like write the detection rule for the Detectify platform in order to submit it?
No, you just write the proof of concept, and then we do the rest.
Okay. So, yeah, that's good. I always like to leave that to the folks that do that development on a regular basis, because like I used to work for a vulnerability management company, and like I tried my hand at writing, we called them plugins. And, people that do that every day, they would come up with a much better, more robust, more accurate kind of style check.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, now we're also trying out to get the hackers to build some of the stuff themselves, which so far has gone good. But I mean, it's still like a level of, we still need to do some of the stuff ourselves, because it doesn't really make sense for someone to do all of the work. But we're trying out a lot of different stuff. But the foundation is that we do all of the boring stuff and they do all of the fun stuff, which is finding the vulnerabilities.
Right. Yeah, no, that's really awesome. So as long as it's new to you in terms of a proof of concept, you'll go ahead and write the plugin. Or if I submit a proof of concept plugin, you'll go ahead and massage that however you see fit to get it ready for production. I totally get that.
Yeah, exactly. That's correct.
That's pretty awesome. So you said you had about 400 people? Approaching 400 people in the program. Do you have to be selected, or can I apply? How do I apply to be in the program?
So anyone can apply to be a member, and then you do a test and also, write some stuff about yourself. Our security researcher will go through your application, and then if you get accepted, you will get invited. So anyone who wants to can apply.
So I have to take a test, or do I have to hack into some web app and have findings?
Yeah, exactly. It's not a written test. It's you has to hack and write what you found, and then based on that, we can both see, hope that we can see your technical level as well as your what do you call it? How you approach the challenge, so to say.
Sure. That's really cool. So I like that level of validation. Although I haven't taken the test, so. Maybe I will just to make sure that I'm not lame, that I still have my skills, hopefully. Do you disclose? So I guess if it's already been disclosed to the vendor, you don't have to worry about this. But if you run into a situation where someone's submitted something that has not been disclosed to either the vendor or the open source project that happens to have the vulnerability.
Yeah, of course. Then we treat it as any company would hopefully treat a 0 days. So we report it to the company and wait for the 5 days until we do anything with it.
Awesome. And so does it matter the type of vulnerability, like whether it's cross-site scripting versus remote file upload? Like basically, are they all paid equally?
They are all paid equally, but it depends on the severity level. So when someone submits something and we validate it and say that yes, this is the type of submission we want, then we decide if it's critical, a high, a medium, or low severity on it, and then you get paid based on that. But then it can also differ a little bit based on the technology and so on. But all of those things you can find, like if you are a member, you can find all of that and actually count on, okay, if I submit this specific vulnerability based on the amount of customers using it and based on the severity I think it will get, I will probably get this amount of money.
Severity is subjective. I'm sure you have a team that is probably debating, what the severity should be, right?
Yes. We have.
It's certainly because there are so many things, especially when we talk. Well, I mean, if you're talking just about the vulnerability, right? But how that can be presented in the application could be two totally different things. So, but you're looking at obviously just the vulnerability.
Yes, exactly.
So, what are some of your more popular ones? Like who's getting paid? I don't need their names, right? But like, are there people getting paid like more than others because they've disclosed one of the vulnerabilities that are most commonly found by your customer base?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's we have a leaderboard where we show which one has the highest score, which I mean is the people who has gotten paid the most in one way. It is. I know that everybody has different approaches until like how they find the right type of vulnerabilities. But some are really like sitting and waiting for a new CV to come out and just send it in as fast as they can.
Sure.
But we have some people who are really successful in our network, and it's really fun to see how they all approach getting the right type of vulnerabilities in very different ways.
Yeah, because they can't just submit the CVE in most cases. They have to develop a proof of concept in order for you to base that check off of, right? So there's some technical skill involved. You can't just say, oh, look, a new CVE came out. Let me just send it to Detectify.
Oh, no, of course. You have to have a technical skill. And that is also why we have an application process, because we believe that in order to be able to actually be successful at our platform, you have to be at a certain technical level. So that is why we want to have it the way we have it, so that we know that people who are in our platform, if they want to be successful, they can be.
Yeah, you have to be able to weaponize the vulnerability. And that's not always easy when a new CVE comes out for a particular web application or framework. And do you also take submissions for the web servers in addition to web applications and, like JavaScript applications and things like that? Like what's the scope of what, proof of concepts can be submitted?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I have to get back to you on that question.
Yeah, sure. I mean, because when you look at web app scanners, they'll oftentimes find vulnerabilities in the web server, right? That's just passing traffic to the web application. So I was just curious if that was in scope. Yeah, if you want to ask someone on your team, I'm curious on that as well. So how has the program been going? Like, is this an official announcement that you're making this week for Black Hat, or like are you looking to add a bunch more people on now that you've kind of proven that this model works for you?
Yeah, I mean, we have been having this crowdsourced community for quite a while. As we started it around 2016, actually, but then it was really small, and then it's been slowly growing since. And this year, we have been really starting to focus more on growth and actually getting more members in. And what we realized when we started that process was that there is a lot of hackers who don't know about Detectify Crowdsource, or who believe that you actually just have to get the secret invite in some way and don't realize that anyone can apply. So the invite only is more of you apply, and then we invite those who pass our challenge. So for us, it's more to just get the word out that we are here, and we are really excited to get more skilled and great hackers in our network.
Are you most likely attracting people who are participating in other bug bounty programs? Because I know, like, if I was going to do this program, I'd likely be in other bug bounties, using what I'm learning from those other bug bounties and also submitting those to Detectify Crowdsourced. Do you find that to be true?
In some cases, yes. I mean, a lot of the hackers in our community are at other bug bounty platforms as well. But since we differ quite a lot in what type of vulnerabilities we accept, and that I'm not a hacker myself, but what I realized when I talk to a lot of our hackers is that you have to switch your mindset a bit when you're a hacker at Detectify Crowdsource, because you have to look on the vulnerabilities at a little different way. So I would say that maybe 70% are also members of other bug bounty platforms, but the rest is not. They just found Detectify Crowdsource, and maybe they worked as pen testers or just really into hacking, but haven't really got realized that bug bounty is an option. So or they heard about Detectify Crowdsource and realized, oh, this was for me, but they are not members of other.
From like an economics perspective, have you found that it works out for you? Like, if you were to, I know it's, well, first hard to build out a research team to find talented people and then employ them full time that would normally be writing all of these checks, right? And then you have to pay them their salaries and all that stuff. Whereas if you crowdsource it, like, economically, is it working out that, you know, bug bounty hunters are getting paid, and also you're saving some by not having to employ, if you could employ that many people full time, right? Finding people to do this research is really hard.
Yeah, I mean, in a dream world, we would hire everyone.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's both that, of course, from an economical perspective, it's like good to not hire everyone, but also that what I really think is like the best thing with this is that everybody in our crowdsourced community are so different. Yeah, they are coming from different backgrounds. They are different ages. Some are students, some are working. Like, they do all of these different things, which make them, like, together, what they collect and give us is fantastic. So if let's say that they would be 20 like hired people, like those 20 hired people I don't think they would contribute in the same way, because it's like the power of the crowd, that there are so many, so different, and all have their different perspective. And I think that's the secret sauce. Yeah, no, it's a great point, because you can only be diversified with 20 people, like 20 seats on the bench, right? But now you've got 400. Some of those 400, I mean, may have a background in developing in that particular framework. Others may not have a development background, which I often find is of value as well, right? Sometimes you think about things differently when you're a developer, and that can help or hurt you when you're discovering vulnerabilities and reporting them. So I agree that diversity is really cool, and hopefully you're getting some really quality, you know, checks from it and growing your database. Yeah, we do. That's awesome. Anything else you want to convey to our audience, Carolin, about this program? No, honestly, I just think that what we do is a bit different from other bug bounty platforms. So if you're interested, I just apply, because it's a different way of looking at it, and it's also a great way to get the like paid over time, because with us you get paid every time you get a hit, which makes it like you can earn money on one vulnerability you submitted 2 years ago and still get hits on it. So it's a great way to get like money over time instead. So if you're interested, apply or reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever, and I can tell you more. We're really excited to grow the community and get even more skillful hackers.
Well, also it's a great benefit too that if you're participating in this program, you want more people to use Detectify, so more people find your vulnerabilities, right? That's
exactly.
Another great.
Yeah.
But it's a great symbiotic relationship too, right? Because it helps Detectify and it helps the researchers as well, and it helps the customers because they're finding more vulnerabilities across their products and platforms. So
exactly.
Yeah. Awesome job, Carolin. Thank you so much for appearing on Security Weekly.
Thank you. Bye.
As I said, this segment was sponsored by Detectify. You can find out more by visiting securityweekly.com/Detectify. And you have to do a little digging there. If you do some digging, you can find the application to join the Crowdsourced program. Carolin, thank you again.
Thank you.